Assistant dying. Could the new Scottish bill bring legal suicide to the UK? We're going to read into this from the Independent, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Independent with the headline of Assistant Dying. Could the new Scottish bill bring legal suicide to the UK? A recent poll that shows over 3/4 of Scots support the legislation. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. So before I give my initial thoughts, which is what I normally do, guys, I want to show you before we talk about this, because I think it's very some context behind the assistant dying is here as well, and I wanted to share this with you. So this is from the Parliaments in Scots here, and I'll put a link for this in the description, and I will also put a link in the description the actual bill itself, so if you want to have a look at the bill in detail you can do. But the bill has been introduced by MSP Liam McArthur, but I just wanted to put up these bullet points here within what's in part was going to be here. So is introducing a members bill which will allow terminally ill adults in Scotland who are eligible to lawfully request to be provided with assistance by health professionals to end their own life, to be eligible to be provided with assistance to end their life. So a person must be terminally ill and have an advanced and progressive disease, illness or condition that they cannot recover from, which is expected to cause their premature death, be aged 16 or over, and must have been resident in Scotland for at least 12 months, be registered with a GP practice in Scotland, and have sufficient capacity to make and understand the decision there. Like I said, I'll put a link for this, and I'll put a link to the bill in the description for you guys on that. But I wanted to highlight that because I think it's really important, some context with regards to this bill, where if people think that loads and loads, if people thinking that this is going to be the same way that how lots of people travel to Switzerland when it comes to assistant dying, no, this is not going to be that case. It is the context is going to be specifically for people in Scotland, and as it says, 3/4 of people in Scotland support this legislation. Now, of course, there are many counter arguments to assistant dying, and the headline, of course, brings up a concerning point here from the Independent, saying that could it bring legal suicide to the UK? I don't accept the premise that it could bring legal suicide, because as long as there are safeguards and provisions to prevent people taking advantage of this, and there are in the context of this bill, and I really implored you to go and read the bill. In the context of it is there are safeguards to make sure that if this person is in the situation that they are in, then it should be. And I also think that there should be, if that person wants it, if they can say it, it should be something that should be looked into as well. So I don't think legal suicide is the right premise to say on this, but obviously it is a difficult subject. No matter how I contextualize or put this to people. The question is this something that should be introduced to the whole of the UK and not just to Scotland? I think there has been discussions about it before, but one of my big arguments is it right that people should have to go to Switzerland to do this? Is it right that that so many people have to go to Switzerland to do this as well? And I don't feel, in the cases of when they feel that in that situation, they feel they have to do it, and it's not right that those who are suffering and want to die can't be allowed to die. And I think that needs to be but also at the same time we need to look at it as a case of and rightly so, that this could, if not careful, people could take advantage of this for all the wrong reasons as well. And I totally understand that premise as well. But there needs to be significant safeguards in place, and I think parts that are in this bill I think are very good safeguards that will be beneficial to those who want assistant dying in Scotland. Whether we will have a similar bill or something like that introduced in Parliament in Westminster, I don't know, but as of right now, I don't think that's something the Conservatives would support. So it would get shot down anyway. But I do think perhaps there may be more discussion, open discussion in the future with a Labour government, perhaps. But I think only time will tell. But let's read what the Independent has to say on this, you guys. So a bill has been introduced to Scottish Parliament that would allow terminally ill adults in Scotland to be provided with assistance to end their own life. If passed, remember, that's the word, if passed, the bill would make Scotland the first country in the UK to permit assisted dying to its residents. The assisted dying bill has been drafted by the Lib Dem MSP Liam McArthur, who says current laws around assisted dying are failing too many terminally ill Scots at the end of life. We can and must do better, which is why I'm publishing my bill on assisted dying. Dame Esther Rantzen has praised the historic legislation. The TV presenter, who has stage 4 lung cancer, announced in December she had joined Swiss assisted dying organisation Dignitas. I've received dozens of letters from people describing the agonising deaths of those they love, she said. This is literally a life and death issue, and I believe terminally ill patients like me need and deserve the right to choose this option if our lives become intolerable. Under the current legislation, it is illegal in all 4 countries to assist in the suicide of another person. The law is slightly different between nations, but in doing so will generally constitute serious offences ranging from manslaughter to murder. Currently, it's estimated that one British adult travelling to Switzerland every 8 days to access assisted dying support for Dignitas. And this is the thing, people are essentially they're going to Switzerland to assist others in dying. When there should be a serious debate about whether it's right that they should go to Switzerland, and why not? Can we not have something here done if people generally want it? But I also understand the arguments of how dangerous this is as well. However, doing so is expensive and complicated. Other travel costs and Dignitas fees. Travelling to Switzerland for assisted dying can cost upwards to £10,000, according to UK charity Dying with Dignity. Is it likely the assisted dying bill would be passed? So that's the question as well. Will Scottish Parliament allow it to pass? And obviously, at the time of this recording, it's entirely possible that you may get an answer by the time, but we'll wait and see. 2 previous attempts to pass similar bills in Hollywood have been unsuccessful, but Mr. McArthur claims public support is now overwhelming. I believe we are now seeing the necessary political support across all parties to deliver this long overdue reform, he wrote. A recent poll showed that over 3/4, 78% of Scottish people are in favour of assisted dying legislation. In 2023, UK membership of Dignitas grew to 1,900, a 24% rise. Crucially, although Hamza Yousaf, the First Minister, and Anas Waskar, the Scottish Labour leader, have indicated they are not convinced by the new legislation, MSPs are expected to give a free vote on the bill. This means that if the bill is voted on in the autumn, leaders of the Hollywood political parties will not tell their members which way to vote. If the bill is passed in Scottish Parliament, it will allow people from surrounding countries to travel to Scotland to access assisted dying. However, there are several conditions laid out. Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that. Importantly, anyone that wishes to receive. Did we not just see? Yeah, it says here has been a resident in Scotland for at least 12 months. So seems to be something amiss here. Importantly, anyone who wishes to receive assistance to end their own life in Scotland will have to have lived in their country for at least 12 months ordinarily. This means that their country of residence, which only normal absences like holidays or business trips. I see. So they basically say, okay. So what they're saying is they would have to travel to Scotland and live there for at least another 12 months. Is what they're saying. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. That's an interesting point. This would be the biggest barrier to otherwise eligible adults. No such conditions exist in Switzerland. Yeah, this would actually, people would still more. Yeah, if there's no barrier like that in Switzerland, those who wish to end their lives within 12 months can afford the cost, can still choose to travel with Dignitas. Speaking last year, Labour leader Keir Starmer said that he plans to give MPs a free vote on assisted dying in the UK if he becomes Prime Minister. In 2015, the North London MP backed a bill to legalise assisted dying when members voted down. Yeah, I'm just looking at this bit here, and I think, yeah, in comparison to Switzerland here, this bill, like this 12-month gap, really does, I think, protect people, will put people off if they're not 100% convinced or sure or whatnot, or perhaps questions need to be asked. I think, given that the 12-month gap is obviously, this is more of whether the Scottish people want it, and if permitted there on what we looked at on the draft. If this is what the Scottish people want, then the Scottish Parliament should vote for it. If they want it, I do hope they get a free vote on the matter. But I can also understand the concerns around it. It's good to hear that Keir Starmer said he would allow a free vote, but whether he will keep to that is another thing in the UK. So I'm not going to hold my breath yet on that one. But assisted dying is it's a difficult subject to talk about, guys. It really is. Nobody wants to assist in ending someone's life, but when they're in pain, in unbearable pain, and they need that, and they want to end their life the way they want to, there needs to be that general discussion, and there needs to be a way of doing it. And I think, yeah, some of those valid points in the Scottish bill, I think is definitely worth it. To say as safeguards, and I think there needs to be significant, like I said at the start, guys, there needs to be safeguards to protect it. What do you guys honestly think? What do you think about assisted dying? What do you think about the Scottish bill? What are your thoughts on it? And do you think that the UK should Westminster implement a similar bill or sorts, or do you think both the UK and Scotland should not even look at this at all? What are your guys' thoughts? I'll put the links in the description if you guys want to check out the bill yourself, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button, we greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very soon.